Hey guys, so we're playing some WoW. I'm just kind of like flying around at the moment. Actually, I haven't done this, I think, today. Trying to get that giant love rocket or whatever it's called. I think they had to change the name. But I'm just flying around trying to, farm. I've been farming mainly for this stuff right here. Titanium, which is still the rarest freaking metal in the game. Um, Also the shiny new mount from this. So it took a while. It took like a couple days for it to go through and to kind of register, which was stupid. But I got it, so it's all good. It's all good, man. But yeah, I just kind of fly around and uh just farm. We've got hunters around here right now. They're all waiting for Locknahawk. It was not yesterday, the other day. Someone messaged, not me directly, but they just said, "Hey, what's its respawn time?" And I'm like, I think it's about 4 to 5 hours. And so I just kind of, whenever I, whenever I'm here, I always keep my lookout for Locke. And even like an hour or two went by, and he finally whispered me again. And he said, "I found him." I'm like, "Well, that's good. Did you get to tame him?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Well, that's good to hear. Congratulations on your shiny new spirit kitty." He's like, "Thank you very much." But I always keep a lookout for him. I have found King Crush in like 2 places I've never seen him before, which is weird. Because like King Crush, whenever I find him, he's always like in one area by Faroon. So to find him other places, I'm like, what? It's astounding. Time is fleeting. We're the time warp. We're doing the time warp.
I need to target something first.
I need to target something first. Let's do the time warp again. I think that used to be a macro of mine. When I used time warp, that's what it would say. My character would say, "Let's do the time warp again."
Watch your feet.
What? What kind of... Watch your feet? Freaking Final Fantasy? Heartshade box. Of course not. I'm never gonna get that damn freaking mount. Like, that's one mount I look for every year. Every year, every character I can do it on, I try to do it. Nope. Getting Ashes of Alar and Invincible were easier than that crap. But, yeah, I just kind of fly around. I made about, or at least I received about 13,000 gold this morning when I came on, just from some of the, like this stuff, the crystallized, or rather eternal. So I think some eternal earth sold, eternal shadow sold, I think some Saronite sold, but I logged on this morning and I got about 13,000 gold. So Saronite and titanium and all this stuff, it's still really good because it's used for like blacksmithing, for gear and all that. And the gear from Wrath was really good, like transmog wise, so it's still really valuable. Same thing with Bellower, from Outland. That one's still really valuable because it's so rare. Fell Iron. So it's, even though it's old content, the stuff's from 2008, it's still really profitable. Like, if I was to do this compared to, say, I don't know, like, even just Cataclysm, which came out after Wrath, farming Elementium and Pyrite, I wouldn't make nearly as much. I mean, this stuff still sells really, really well. Stuff from Mists of Pandaria doesn't really sell much, or sell for much. Warlords, that just completely ruined the economy because everything you wanted, your plant, your herbs, your ore, your fish, you could all get in your garrison. There was no need to buy anything off the auction house because you can get it yourself. So it just ruined the economy because really no one was using the auction house. But yeah, I just find this relaxing. I'll do this. I'll put on some music that I listened to in 2008, and I'll just fly around for a couple of hours and just, yes, a couple of hours. Like I said, this is just that relaxing. Because you don't have to think about anything. You can just think of memories and listen to good music that you listened to back then. It's a simple route, so you really don't have to think too much about it. And if I'm not listening to music, I'm watching something like, I'm watching Death Note again, simply because it's just an amazing show. So I'm watching, like, Death Note, and I'm just kind of doing this, not even looking at the screen, really. But then I do this sometimes, because I'm not looking at the mini-map that's right over here. I'll pass up some nodes sometimes, but then I'm like, oh, crap! Let me go get those. But yeah, there's any over here. Now over here is another, I found Locke over, this is where I helped the troll. I was over here and Locke was right around here. I remember I just kind of stood right here and Locke was walking around right around here. And then the troll, he's like level 35, came swooping in and he managed to tame him. I'm like, well, congrats. I let him know that it was, I called out, in the chat, general or for the zone, and said, hey, any hunters looking for Locke? He's over here, and here's the coordinates. And yeah, he joined my party and came over and tamed him and got himself Locke. Which I should, because I've said before that he has a mate that looks just like him, but his mate, I'm not saying she's, not pretty either, but let me put it this way, it's like a donkey dragon situation. You have Loch-Nahok, who is this tiny cat, and then you have his mate, who is huge. So I just kind of wonder how the technical part of it works. Does he have to get up on platforms or, a pillar or something? Or is it just like a fetish thing where it's like a self-insert? Or, I mean, actually, I really should show you what I'm talking about. I really should. What are we at? 8 minutes? Oh, yeah, we got plenty of time. Okay, so after I make my way back to the main base of here... Actually, no. Let's see here. Teleport to Northrend. Because it's just too funny. It really is. It's just too funny. I swear, dude, it was like this big. Your ego's that big. No, it's not big enough. I swear it was like a donkey dong. Alright, so we're gonna go to Gundrak, I believe she's in. Gundrak. Alright, let's see, Gundrak. Let's see. Peaks. Where's the closest? Let's go Ebon Watch. It's so pretty. It's so freaking pretty. Just look at that. I just wish that it would stay that bright when getting that close. It's just disappointing when it doesn't get bright. You know, I flew so close, I could have just flown here myself because Gundrak's entrance is right there. But just, I love the sight of it. Just this really slow flyover of Crystal Song. Look how gorgeous this place is. You got the earth split open, showing this beautiful pinkish, purple, white melding together. It's just, out of all the zones that Blizzard's created, this is still by far one of the most unique. You know, Arden Wheel looks amazing and everything like that, but Thrym in the mountain. All right, I gotta remember where she is, because well, when you find her, it's not that hard to miss. She's a big gal. I haven't been to Gundrak in ages, man. We got the floating Acropolis up there. Or Zuldrak. Did I say Gundrak? Yeah, Zuldrak. Gundrak's dungeon. Yeah, Zuldrak. There's so many Draks. Yeah, Zuldrak. I think she's more closely like over here. Ooh, Cobalt? I can mine some Cobalt. I mean, I don't think Cobalt's really that valuable anymore, but whatever. Rage Claw Den. Isn't this the lake with the little steel thingy? Yep, right there. Rage Vein. I remember the first time doing that quest, I died so many times to that freaking thing. This was back then when I didn't realize that there were like stats on the gear. So I'm just like picking I'm picking gear because it's like, oh, the armor is better. I think there's a spirit beast up here. It's the one of the spirit beasts. I can't remember if it's not the bear, because the bear is in whatchamacallit, in Grizzly Hills. The bear one was easy to find because it has like this very small area and it's like one area. But some of the other spirit beasts kind of have multiple areas, and I remember dying a lot when I got here. And more Cobalt. Yep. But it was Altar of Harkoa. We got Grizzly Hills. I think we're actually here. And then there's, I think, another spirit beast over here. Like, it's like a snow leopard or something. Amongst these guys right here. No. No, not this one. Where are we going here? Ooh, more Cobalt. I can't remember the quest over here, like what we had to do. But I remember it being a pain in the ass. I was like, why am I dying? Well, I knew why I was dying. But look at the colors. Wrath of the Lich King had such cool colors to it. You know, the blues and the purples and the, you know, just really nice colors. Gundrack Brute. Yeah, here's Gundrack. This whole thing right there. That's Gundrack. Where was it? Actually, I thought, you know, even trying to find it, I haven't been there in ages, so I forget which altar it is. But I can fly around and look for cobalt, because I actually can't remember how much cobalt is. So getting enough of it, I can sell it and kind of see. Because cobalt is pretty rich in Borean Tundra, but there's never like a point to get it. Most people just kind of farmed it for you know, to level up, but when it came to actually selling it, it really didn't give a whole lot. Thrym. Stratus. The Prophet of Stratus. Alright, because I didn't want to record for long, and I was looking for some cobalt. But we're here, ready to see what his mate looks like. This giant thing is his mate. How in the world do these two mate? Now, you'll notice it's still Loch-Nahok, except really, 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 really big. So this is the female Harkoa. So this is Loch-Nahok's mate. How is it done? You will be my salvation. You may yet be my demise. I think I've done this quest, so. But just how? How does she like lay down back up here and lay down and he does his business? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. And you can sit here all day trying to figure it out. You won't be able to. And why would they, with all these trolls watching? Ugh. But I'll see you guys back in Sholazar Basin. Alright, we're back. I love this song. It's so good. Still one of the best songs that Blizzard's put out. Do you see why I say it's just really, really relaxing? That music starts to play and it's so relaxing. I'm also was flying over here, and I love flying in this game. You know, it's just like you're up here, so you go up here to the point where you really can't see anything anymore, like almost like you're in a plane. And even if you can see things, you know, you're flying around, you look down, and everything looks so peaceful. You know, and even when you descend and you kind of see everything kind of sprout up again, and they all look so minuscule and in size. It's like when you're on an airplane. I hate flying, but I love that idea of, you're up that high, You know all this terrible shit's going on down there, but it doesn't matter because up there it looks so peaceful. Of course, everything looks peaceful from like 30,000 feet. You know, and even when you're descending into the onto the runway, and you're getting closer, and you can see these little tiny moving dots. You know those are people. You know, it's still just really, like, if you've never been on a plane, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have, you'll understand that sense of just like, you know, how small everything else is, and the scope of like being that high. As we see all these giant freaking things around us, but then you realize they're not as big as we think they are. I mean, big, yeah. But then when you get to about 30,000 feet and you're able to look down on the earth and all that. Nope. And then when you think of the grand scope of, like, at least the solar system, then you realize, yeah, we're nothing. We are basically ants. I think I did a video with the size difference from, like, each planet and different different bodies in our solar system, and how there's, where we are basically just atom-sized compared to some of these things in this in our solar system. It's crazy. Morty. But yeah, I just like flying around in the game, and I just wish it wasn't just so difficult. Not difficult, but instead of going like in a freaking wonky shape, you should be able to just like pick where you want to stop. I mean, I know they brought up the little button for a stop, but I'll have to show you what I'm talking about. Because we're right here, so might as well. So, especially when you're like just trying to get around, and so for example,
Can I help you?
all right, so I'm here right now, and say I wanted to go over here. Well, you have that long line of stuff that you need to take. Or say I wanted to go over here, or over here, or over here. So, like for here. So instead of going just straight, you have you have these in the way. What I wish we could do is just connect this one to that one with the little line. Just use our cursor, connect that one and that one, and boom. Or, this one is different because everything is pretty much aligned. But there's some that kind of like go really like wonky-ish, and it would be really great. Like this one right here. Like, you have to go here, 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 here. Why not just go this one, that one? Why is this one even there? Or same thing with this. The Unupe Borean Tundra. Alright, so we go from here to there to here, there to here. Why not just go from there to there to there? So I really wish we could pick out the flight path we want, because some of them are faster, and some people don't have that much time, even though it's only like a couple seconds or a minute or two. If people are playing before work, sometimes that minute or two makes all the difference. Some people are like, hey, I'm going to get on a few minutes before I go to work, get stuff done. It can make all the difference. Being able to take that faster flight path. But I wish we were able to do that rather than like, oh, go here, 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 here. Okay, you arrived at your destination. You know, I wish we could just take the cursor, point it to where we want it to go, and boom, off. That would make it a lot better because then we could map out our flight path for the quickest route instead of sitting there like, well, I guess I'll go get a drink now. Because that's like back in the day. This was back it was during BC. There was one I flew from one side of Kalimdor to the other. It took a while. I was able to go in, take my shower, go eat something, and when I came back, I was still in the freaking air. It was insane. It was so freaking long. I think nowadays they've sped it up. I don't think it takes a freaking hour and a half because sometimes they did take like an hour and a half. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think you're there in pretty much a couple minutes, simply because it does take a while. Like imagine walking from one side. It takes a while. But yeah, you'd click. So like Kalimdor. So say you're up here, you know, you're a Winter Spring. It's like, oh man, I gotta go all down to Tanaris. Well, with this, you're gonna have to hit like every single freaking flight path on the way. And then when it said estimated flight time, it was like an hour and 15 minutes. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm like, okay, whatever. And yeah, like I said, I went and took the shower. I went and ate. I did a couple more things after that. I don't even remember. I just remember because I was downstairs, so I was just doing whatever. And I came upstairs and the thing was still going. I'm like, I'm still in the air, and I was like nowhere close to where I needed to be. I'm like, this is ridiculous. They need to make flying a lot faster. But it was hilarious. I mean, it was stupid, but I had to laugh at it because I'm like, why is it taking so long? There's also like a trick that people said worked back in the day. So if you had your mount, and it was only flying at like 110% increased speed or whatever, or 100 for flying, people said that if you kind of like run off sloped area and then, you know, kind of like do that, you can kind of get a little more speed, which at first sometimes it seemed like it worked, because it took so long to get around. Like when they first introduced flying in game, like in Outland, it took so long. And I'm figuring out, I'm like, okay, there's got to be ways to increase the mount speed without having to actually, you know, like a better mount or something. And it was just so bad. It made it almost like I didn't want... Yeah, it pretty much made it to where I didn't want to fly. It just took so long. But yeah, they're like, yeah, if you go off a sloped area and, you know, just the right angle, you can actually pick up more speed. And I'm like, well, maybe, but I don't think the game's built like that. Nowadays, it's true with dragon flying. You know, how going like this doesn't increase your speed, but with dragon flying in Dragon Isles, yeah, the more you go down, the more velocity and everything you get. So when you go back up, you can gain more height. You know, you get the cool, you know, those cool action lines as you're going so fast. And once this video, I want to get some of that sweet, sweet, sweet titanium. It's bulletproof. Nothing to lose. I probably won't find it when I'm recording. I mean, I barely find it when I'm not recording. It's still one of the rarest metals, if not the rarest metal in the game. So, I've done a few videos like this over the years, and every single time, it's like I never find any titanium when I want it. You know, like when I'm recording, I don't find any. Oh my god! Yeah! Titanium! Wow. That was a treat. How many do I have now? 12. 12. I have 12. Along with whatever else is sitting on the auction house. Well, sometimes reverse psychology works, folks. I said I know we're not going to find any because I can't really find any when I'm not recording. And what do you know? The first node we see happens to be titanium. That sweet, precious titanium. Nothing to lose. It's far away. Far away. That was lucky. What are we at? 30 minutes. Now if we could find some more titanium. I mean, the spawn rate for it is pretty random. Sometimes I can farm for 3 hours and not find one node. Sometimes I can farm for 3 hours and find it every couple minutes. I think I walked away like yesterday or the day before that after like 1 or 2 hours with about 20. Because when you farm them, you only get about 3. So I found a good chunk of titanium in that short time. Actually, I also think that one time when I was recording, we actually found luck. And I'm like, there he is. There's that beautiful boy. But this is the path that I run every time. You know, because I kind of know where all of it is. So I just kind of take the same easy little path. And you also have to remember that sometimes it can be in the water. Hey, Shango. Shango's unchained. Still sitting around waiting for Darren Hunter. Yeah, I've seen a lot of hunters out here recently. Normally there's not this many, but I don't know. I guess Loch and Hawk season's, you know, in full swing or something, because I never see this many hunters when I'm out here doing this. There was about 4 or 5 hunters yesterday when I was around here. I'm like, that's the most hunters I've ever seen around here. Normally I might see 1 or so, but 5? I was like, that's insane. Rich? Yep, rich. Rich nodes give you more. More of everything. It's like he's over there and then Locke's over here. Anyone over here waiting? No, but there's that little Valkyr, the unborn Valkyr. Do 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 do. Nope. Yeah, it's a pretty easy route if you want to do farming. I think where did I learn this route? From what was his name? There was a YouTuber back in the day who did like routes for herbalism and mining, you know, playing the auction house, and that's where I learned everything about playing the auction house. Taro Guides, I think the name was. It was a Tarou. And then for a while he was, I think he did up to like maybe Mr. Pandaria. And then it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I have a daughter. I'm gonna make a channel with her now, and because she's young, so I'm gonna make a channel with her with Toy Box or something. And it's like, well, you can still do the guides, but yeah, I think it was Taro's guides or something like that. But that's where I learned to play the auction house and all that, undercutting and all those nice, lovely, totally cool and easy tactics. But yeah, he'd have these guides that show like the map, and he'd have drawn out the perfect route for it. Now, Sholazar Basin, I mean, pretty much everything, like all the nodes you'll usually find are on mountainsides and stuff. Well, luckily enough, it's just one mountainside after another. Cliffs and all that. So rarely you'll find anything in the middle. So even though there's not a whole lot, spawn point, well, there's a lot of spawn points, but rather, even if there's not a lot of spawns, it's still an easy route. So by the time you pick up one, so if I stay here, by the time I get back to here, it should pretty much be, back. If it's not, it's not, but because these have a really small timer, really short timer. What do I do? I have 85, and then Earth, I have 96. And I have 200, almost 300 Serenite. I think yesterday I had like 900 Serenite bars. That's a lot of smelting. Helter Smelter. At first, I didn't know how the hell I was like supposed to smelt it because the UI looks different. At first, I was like, okay, where do I go? But then I realized here you go to Northrend, and you get this, and then you get all that. So I was like, huh. Well, that looks better, I guess. I mean, I kind of like it having it in a big box like that. It just, even though it takes up more space, it just looks more professional than the little UI that it had before. I don't know. It's always big things these days. Everyone's trying to be bigger and better. I still really would like to get a look at this thing. Because it's like almost like they had an idea for Sholazar Basin. There's obviously all this Titan tech. But they never followed through with it. Like with half the crap they introduce. Because there's clearly like a Titan facility or something here in Sholazar Basin. So... Also, where does this lead? I don't even remember. Waygate. Nowhere. No. Where's the lead? Isn't this the one to Ungoro Crater? I think this is the Ungoro Crater one. Because I know that Ungoro Crater and Sholazar Basin, like, yeah, Ungoro Crater. And then there's like the Titan dude right over here. And yeah, the Titan facilities. It was like this big. Yeah. I mean, it's a quick little passage if... Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet titanium. Oh, God. Oh, praise the goddess. Praise the loon. 2 nodes of titanium in 1 video. I'm over my quota. 14. Yeah, you see, you only get like 2, 3 per node. So to get 20 in like 2 hours or so, you had to find a lot. For me, like the other day, it seemed like every other one I was finding was titanium. "40 minutes in, I'll probably stop soon. As soon as I get around to where the base is, I'll just kind of finish. You know, sometimes I just like these kinds of videos where I just talk and mine and, you know, do all my farming and... Ah, that's not what I wanted. Ah. I like the fact that even though I'm clearly higher level, and most enemies, when you go near them when you're mining, don't bother attacking you. These freaking cats, they don't care. They're like, I'm going to attack you. You know what would also be really cool? If they went back and redid the models for these, and like, each bird was different, instead of having the same freaking bird, you know, like the same model. You know, they just kind of color it different. As you can see, like brown, red, or brown, white, but like have different birds. But then again, I guess it would fit in because maybe these are the birds that you find here, and it'd be stupid to introduce new birds to an ecosystem where they don't actually exist. But you know, change the models a little bit. But anyways, yeah. So just a little relaxing, fly around farming video. No Locknahawk today, but we did find some titanium, which is really good. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.